Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight. Lots in play. So let's get right to the sage of Southern California. He joins us now from Santa Barbara. All right, first up, the Zimmerman verdict, and you say?
Well, you know, Bill, I don't watch court cases since the O.J. thing. You know, I realized it was madness. I just stay away from it. This one seemed a particular minefield because you got guys like Sharpton and Jackson. They deal more in code than people who worked on the Enigma project in World War II. So I stay away from it. But I will say this. I always think justice is done when it goes to trial. Then if I'm not paying attention to the trial and 6 people, and I see it was 6 women, I like that. I always think motherhood, 5 of the women were mothers. I think that trumps color, and I think most fair people would say that. I assume those 6 people paid attention, and they rendered this verdict. I didn't go into it thinking justice had to be done if one guy or the other won, and obviously they're the one guy's family, the kid can't win, but I don't go in that way thinking this is my definition of justice. I think they picked a jury, they're paying attention, I'm not. So the jury said not guilty. Now, I will say this. I don't think the Martin family were served by those prosecutors. They did not exactly do a crackerjack job as I go back and read on it. And you know, that Angela Corey woman, she looks like a piece of work, man. You know the one I mean, the white Hispanic-looking chick. Yeah, she looked white Hispanic. I didn't even know that existed, but the New York Times is the paper of record. They didn't exactly look like geniuses. If you want to bring color into it, let's call them the Lavender Hill gang, the gang who couldn't shoot straight, because that was a nightmare. And as I watched Angela Corey the other night in that après thing, I thought, well, I'll just put it this way, because I understand she's heavily litigious if you incur wrath. Just let me say, I wrote it down. She appeared to be a genius and a nice person and sincere. She did a great, great job, that Angela Corey woman. Sorry, I had to make some notes. Listen, the pundits all had their opinion. I would say that Lady Justice, not only is she blind, but she's deaf. And it's probably apropos. 6 people needed to pay attention to this. I'll abide by their verdict.
All right. Early in the program, Beckel said he doesn't care if Putin spits in the eye of the USA and gives Snowden sanctuary or asylum. And you say?
If this kid wants asylum, he had to stay here in America, because this whole joint's a nut house right now, all right? This kid's been in that Moscow airport more frequently than a commie Hare Krishna. I know Putin wants to take him to his bosom, but he can't, because they're too big to get the kid in close. Now, I understand that if they do take him in, he has to have a no-leak policy. And you know something, at age 59, I can tell you I'd last around an hour and a half with that no-leak policy.
Are you angry about it, though? I mean, if Putin gives us a little tweak, because he knows probably Beckel is right that nothing's going to happen?
I believe that Putin, as an ex-KGB, will do that kid eventually more than we would do that kid. Go ahead, kid. Enjoy that ride. Date Marina Oswald when you're there.
Right.
Keep your head on a swivel, baby.
Because Russia is such a lively place today.
You know, Putin can turn on you in a
But I think there's got to be some response, because Putin is out of control and somebody got to tweak him. All right, and also...
who's going to do that? What's Barack going to open a big can of whoop nuance on him?
I don't know. I mean, maybe we boycott the Olympics, as Senator Graham wants to do in 14.
The only thing that could bring this country back together now is if the Russian bear got back together. You reform the Soviet Union, maybe we all come together at that point.
Now, Obamacare, Beckel loves it because he's getting insurance because he has a pre-existing condition, but it seems to be chaos. Jimmy Hoffa Jr., he doesn't like it now, and you say?
Well, you know, Bob's pre-existing condition is a one-day-at-a-time thing. The pursuit of the European model by the liberals is maddening to me. I have to give Bill Clinton that. When he said he dug European models, he actually meant European models. All I'll say about Obamacare is that the people who championed it the most all have waivers to it. And the only decision that's going to be made is when it stinks too high. It's no longer going to be Obamacare. It's going to be Biden care, because they're going to push it over on Plugs McKenzie and throw him out the door. I'm hoping the Dems eventually do Obamacare in when they realize you might need a photo ID to participate in the program.
That's right. They're not going to go for that. You can't. All right.
That'll when the long knives come in inside the tent, as Roger says.
All right, Miller, we covered a lot of ground.